Hello. How are you?
No, I'm good. How are you?
You know, enjoying life.
Yeah,
So, how's everything going? I know you took a little bit of a hiatus because of your traveling and stuff.
yeah, I did. That's good. I'm not done yet, but we got a couple more things coming up, and I got a little project that I'm gonna be doing. I'll tell everybody about that later. But we got to see each other a couple times in person, which was awesome.
It was indeed. You're going to be at Salem, correct?
I am.
Nice. So I'll see you again in Salem.
Yep.
I know it's going to be a 1 day event now, not a 2 day event.
Right.
So a little bit of a logistical aspect there, but I'm looking forward to being down in Salem again. I'm actually very happy that it's after Halloween time because last time I went to Salem during Halloween, I took a wrong turn because my GPS told me to, and I ended up in downtown Salem during the festivities of Halloween. Not a fun place to be.
Oh no.
It
Uh,
happens,
yeah.
unfortunately. But yeah. So how's your travels been?
Good, honestly, and I love to fly. So when I get to
Morgan,
fly, it's
I know
great.
the mask was beyond crooked. I told you I can't see through it. I tried.
Keep him straight, Morgan. Keep him straight. Hey.
Yeah, I can't see anything through this mask. Like it's horrible.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
but when I start doing my black and white alien videos to represent the IR, it's gonna work out great.
Oh yeah, it is. We have got somebody really special on tonight. You going to
Oh,
introduce him?
we do. Is he in the background?
He is.
He is awesome.
He
So
is.
tonight we have Father Bob Bailey. He is a well-known retired Catholic priest. He works with the Holy Sword Apostle. He also works with the Grace Order of Saint Michael, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correct or not, but the Theokotos. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct or not.
Ooh, he'll
Um,
tell us.
but he also does a spiritual counsel and a priesthood
Mhm.
counsel for N.E.S.P.E.R, which and everyone who knows the Annabelle doll knows N.E.S.P.E.R. So I am really looking forward to this conversation. And everyone, please welcome my guest, and please welcome him to the Paranormal Unveiled family, Mr. Bob Bailey.
Hi, Gwen. Hi, Nate.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, Father Bob. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's stinking hot here, but I'm in the air conditioning, so I'm happy.
Oh, same here. I had to turn my fan off because I realized it was messing with my audio. So
Oh,
Well, actually, I got a break today. It's only about 80, but it's storming. So,
eh, take breaks where you can get them, right? Look at it as a blessing.
yes, yes, I do. Because my air is not working. So, yeah, it's great.
uh,
So, so Father Bob, how are you doing, man? How is everything going for you?
going well. Doing well. Thank you. Thank you. I just got back from Portugal not too long
I'm jealous.
ago, and I'm getting ready to go to California next month. So resting up a little bit here, trying to do some retired things, little projects that I've wanted to do. So before that,
That's awesome. Well, I can tell you, considering the fact that you're resting up for a trip, I greatly appreciate your time. You coming on here for like an hour or so and talking to me. Thank you.
Uh oh. Did he freeze?
I don't know if I froze, he froze, you froze.
Okay. He'll be back in a second.
Yeah, I
It'll
think
be
he
okay.
froze. It's okay. It is what
It's
it
okay.
is. I'm
It
looking
is.
forward to the conversation though, because I feel like I have a very good list of questions, but let's be honest, I never stick to. So
No, you only do three questions. Wait, one question, three parts.
yeah, but that's typically the end question. But I feel like I got some pretty good stuff written
Uh-oh.
out here.
Ricky says we offer. Yes. I'll be real with you. Some of the hot weather messes the up. He popped out, but he'll be back. Father Bob, I've had him on my show before, and he was awesome. He was telling me some stories and things, and I'll be real with you. Talking to him was so relaxing. I almost forgot I was on the show. So
No, he seems like an amazing person. The conversation, the very short one that we had the first time I met him in Salem, he seems like an
oh, there's
amazing
Bill.
person.
Sorry,
Hey,
hey Bill, I'll
Bill.
see you soon.
Bill, you're not late. You just literally showed up.
Uh, and there's Raven. Hey Raven.
Hello, Raven. So while we're waiting on
Yeah.
our guest to come back, does anyone in the chat have any questions?
Yeah. Ask us something. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Here.
Hi.
Oh, here he comes.
Yeah,
There he
we're
is.
I apologize because of the heat. We've been having problems with our Wi-Fi for the last couple of days, so I just took it off the Wi-Fi, so it should be
No,
better,
I was
hopefully.
Father
I was
Bob,
saying the same thing. So yeah.
no worries. No worries whatsoever. Look, I am used to technical difficulties during podcasts. It is what it
Mhm.
is. So for those out there watching this show that do not know who Father Bob is, could you give me a brief description of who you are and what you do when it comes to your religious aspect as far as a father, and your paranormal aspect?
Yes, I've been right now. I'm a retired Roman Catholic priest. I had to retire early because I have neuropathy, and my eyes aren't as sharp as they used to be. So I took an early retirement. But the blessing of that is I can devote more time to the paranormal. So, but with that, I was able to help found a ministry called the Holy Sword Apostolate, which is a mechanism for education and also to help other people. And myself and another priest from the West Coast are right now currently co founding that and leading that. So we're hoping, down the line to get more cases and all of that.
Well, that comes with time. That comes with time. It comes
It
with
does. It does.
it comes with pushing your name out there. So, can I ask you, Father Bob, like, what got you interested in the Catholic Church to begin with? Was that a family upbringing, or was it?
Yes. Yes. I I was brought up, in a devout family. My Italian grandparents lived next door, and their witness of the faith really inspired me. And then my mother's cousin was a priest, and he used to go next door every Tuesday to have pasta with my grandparents. And then after that, he would go out, smoke his cigar, and from a young age, he and I would just talk for a few hours and on a lot of topics, including miracles, visions, spiritual warfare, angels and demons. And that really inspired me to want to pursue the priesthood.
Interesting. And you were ordained in what, 1993?
1993, yes. Yep.
So am I wrong in assuming that the Catholic Church has a different aspect when it comes to spiritual stuff and spiritual warfare as far as when it comes to other denominations of said, I guess you could say, Baptist religions? I don't know if they would be fall in the same sect because I don't think they would, but
I don't know enough about the others. I do know this, that we try to take a holistic approach when it comes to warfare and demonology. That we also look at the not only the spiritual but also the medical and the psychological, and definitely before anything as severe as an exorcism over a truly possessed person can happen, they must have a complete medical and psychological exam. So to rule out any psychosis or anything like that, because the worst thing you could do is treat some kind of a mental illness and mask it spiritually. It's not going to help the person. It's going to do more damage. So,
correct.
we take a more holistic view towards the area of spiritual warfare.
No, I like that aspect, and that leads me to my next question. Do you believe that when you have other sects of the religion that claim that ghosts do not exist, demons do not exist, which most of them believe in demons, don't get me wrong, but
Hmm.
they say that ghosts do not exist.
Yes,
I feel like the Catholic religion takes a different aspect on that.
it does.
Would I
Well,
be
I
wrong
mean,
in that assumption?
even if you look in the Bible now, when after the resurrection, Jesus appeared. The apostles saw him, and they were afraid. And also, when the storm on the sea, and they were afraid that they were seeing a ghost. And Jesus said clearly in the gospel, he said, "Look at my hands and my feet. Know that a ghost does not have flesh and blood." Now we can
He does say that.
infer. Yes, we can infer if he didn't believe that there were spirits, he would have said there's no such thing,
I
you
agree.
know?
Let me tell you, I was raised Southern Baptist. I've read the Bible. So
Hmm.
any scripture you quote, I'm pretty sure I can agree with.
Hmm.
And it's just odd to me that you have so many people that are on the fence as to the differential between the Catholic faith, the Baptist faith, the Episcopalian faith. You know, you have so many different denominations, and every single one of them believes something different.
Correct, correct. But yeah, as far as Christianity goes, I mean, we have the antiquity of the church because of right from Christ. You know, we claim our roots right from Jesus himself. You know, as an unbroken link that connects us today. So the church has been doing spiritual warfare since the days of Jesus, since the gospel. So
I,
you know, with that comes a certain amount of wisdom over the ages.
right. Are you wearing your father's collar, by the way?
I am.
You didn't have to do that for the show, but I appreciate it.
Well, it's part of trying to be, you know,
You know what I'm wearing for the show?
respective. Respectful.
My necklace that is filled with a vial of soil from I don't know how to pronounce it, but Senatea Penori over in Transylvania.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
I've heard through different channels that you are a Dracula fan.
Absolutely. I've loved vampires since I was young and always loved the Dracula movies. And I can even tell you who my favorite actor is, hands
Please,
down, of Dracula. What?
please do. Yeah.
Oh, Christopher Lee.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think he's the scariest. I mean, those eyes, the tallness. Oh boy, he would scare the crap out of me when I was young.
Even if you go back to the 1922 silent German film Nosferatu,
Yes.
no one matches up to Christopher Lee. To be honest,
No,
none.
no. I mean, Bela Lugosi is, you know,
Close.
he's a close second, you know. But
But yeah,
yeah.
so the vial of soil around my neck actually came from the grounds of his castle.
Oh wow. Does that mean that you can sleep in peace now because you're sleeping in your native soil from Transylvania?
Negative. What it means is I received this from a woman who claimed that she had paranormal experiences from it.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, "Well, I just want this object off my hands. I've had it for 10 years. It was in a storage shed. I brought it into my house. I started having vivid nightmares and lucid dreams. For me, there's a psychosomatic effect. If you know the history of the item,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to mess with you psychologically."
Right.
And I said, "All right, I'll take it off your hands." So I met her up literally at a local Walmart, took it off her hands. My daughter flew up next summer, and I stuck her in the room with the item, not even telling her about the history. I kind of used her as a guinea pig for an experiment, to be honest. And that might be wrong of me, but I wanted to know the truth of whether or not the item was haunted or whether or not it was a psychosomatic effect.
Mm-hmm.
And it was. It
Wow.
was simply psychosomatic. I mean, yes, is it an awesome piece of history?
Oh
Of
yeah.
course.
Yeah. Yeah, like
But
when I was in the Holy Land, I took stones from certain places, you know, in the Holy Land just as a reminder, you know, of the place. It's the cheapest souvenir you can get.
absolutely.
True.
When you speak of the Holy Land, you're talking about Israel, you're talking about Mecca, like
Israel. Israel.
Israel. Okay. I just want to double check. I'm be honest with you. My Catholicism is not the greatest.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's all Christians share the, Jerusalem and Galilee and Bethlehem. So it's not just for Roman Catholics.
Interesting, because I kind of feel like there is some kind of discussion as far as to where the I guess you could say the Mecca would be,
Hmm.
and
Well,
it's been a debate for a long time.
yeah, I've been to the whole to Israel twice. Yeah, and there are some instances where they don't know exactly where, but they know the vicinity, and so you might get two different shrines commemorating the same place. But now with archaeological finds, it is sometimes they can be more refined in finding the place. Like when I was there last, a while ago with a bunch of priests, they had found the tomb of Saint Joseph, Jesus's foster father, and it wasn't in the place commemorated, but it wasn't far away. So even if they don't know exactly where it is, you're commemorating that. So there is a spiritual energy to that.
So have you been to the Vatican?
Absolutely.
Have you been to the underground vaults?
I've been to the Scavi tour. There's no real underground vault. That's
Really,
all.
there's not. That's a myth.
Yes, there are archives, but they've been opened, and yeah, all that stuff. I see it on Facebook, and I'm not Facebook, but YouTube, and I just laugh about all these. You got to be careful what you see on
Oh, I didn't believe in it at all.
No, but however, there are what they call the Scavi tour, which is beautiful. It's the excavations underneath St. Peter's, and they actually found the bones of St. Peter under there, and I actually was able to see
Really?
it. Yeah, yep,
So that for one is amazing. You have seen
Mhm.
something in your lifetime that no one else will probably ever see.
yeah. Well, I mean, you can see it, but yeah, I mean, if you go on there, but you have to know to get onto that tour. But when they found it, I forgot what year, the Pope at the time said, no, we're not taking it out. We're going to leave it exactly where it was in respect because somebody put it there. And so now, you can go down in the excavations and see it in the from a glass. You're not supposed to take pictures, but of course, I
People do, but
Yeah.
I dropped back and let everybody else go in front of me. Then went click, 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 and I ran.
I
I
love it.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So for those out there listening that don't know, I also saw that you were a part of the Sacred Grace Order of Saint Michael.
Yes, that's
And
Father
I
Ken's.
don't know how to pronounce this word, but
The
Theokos.
Theotokos. Theotokos is Greek for Mother of God, because
Okay, see, I was trying to look up in Latin.
the
So
God bearer or the Mother of God. It's Greek.
can you explain it a little bit more for us who don't know?
Yeah, Father Ken is Eastern Orthodox,
Mhm.
so the Eastern Orthodox honor the Virgin Mary very highly as we do, but they refer to her in the early Greek term title for her, which is Theotokos, which means God bearer or Mother of God, depending on how you directly translate it. And so to keep that tradition, Father Ken would have that on there because if you were in Russia or Greece or Ukraine, they would Mary would be referred to as a Theotokos, the God
Interesting.
bearer.
See, and that's why I love doing these podcasts with people like you because I learn something new every day, and this is amazing
Yes.
because I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's one of the rich traditions of the East. And the East has so much to offer us. The Eastern Christian Church. I love studying them. I love their traditions because they date back 2,000 years. Some of their liturgies. So,
Right.
uh
So one of the things on my podcast that I'm very good for is multi-part questions. So I've got a multi-part question for you because I've got a
oh,
bottle right here.
Gwen, should I be afraid?
No,
Well, no.
it should
No.
be a
Okay,
He's
very no.
harmless. He's
I think it's
harmless.
going to be a very simple answer for you. These bottles of holy water that you can
Yes.
buy online, whether it be Amazon, eBay, whatever, right? Should people out there that are investigating the paranormal trust this as being legitimate holy water, and should they use it for blessing houses if they do not know what they're doing when it comes to doing house
O-
blessings?
Okay, my opinion is that we are forbidden to sell blessed objects. Like when I have rosaries that are blessed, or even holy water I brought back from Fatima, the shrine in Portugal, it says donation, and that means if someone could not afford it, I would give that to them.
Right.
Or if they could only afford you can't sell blessed objects. It's forbidden. So I would be very careful unless you know the place where it is, and they're not supposed to sell it. You know. Um, so yeah, I mean, I would rather go to your local Catholic church and and ask for holy water. In the church, sometimes they
So
have it available.
I bought the bottle online. I dumped
Uh
the
huh.
water out. I went to the nearest local church that was a Catholic
Yes.
church,
Yep.
and I asked them, "Can I fill this with holy water?" And
Yep.
they said, "Yes, if you make a $2 donation."
Oh, they shouldn't do that. Oh no, that's rotten. No, 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 no,
It
no.
might be rotten, but I know it's legitimate holy water.
Well, and yeah, but you can't. Oh, it's donate. They said donation, but yeah, some shrines do that. If they have the healing waters as a donation, it just helps them. Like when I went to Fatima, Portugal, where the Blessed Mother appeared to the three children. I got water from the spring there, but again, I wouldn't sell it. I would say for a donation because you got to make. I intend on making pamphlets and leaflets and stuff.
Right.
It costs a lot of money, and I don't have that.
So,
So,
so basically, what you're saying is, since they put a monetary amount on the donation that I had to make, that was
right,
wrong on them.
unless they said a donation,
They said $2 donation is what they said.
well, then they cover themselves. Yes,
Okay, well, and
yeah,
I have no problem doing it because I want to make sure the stuff that I'm using is legit.
but if you said, look, I honestly could not afford, that they should have to give that to you.
So, can I also ask you though, kind of like a standoff to that question?
Hmm.
Should people that are not of the said faith be doing house blessings or cleansings with said holy water if they are not of that faith? Could that not have adverse effects?
Not adverse effects, but I would say, the blessed items are items of faith. They're not magic. We don't believe they're magic. So
Right.
if something's blessed, it would have an effect, but according to your faith. So this is what I tell people, for instance, people walking around with rosaries. And I would say, well, do you pray the rosary? Well, no. Well, then it's just jewelry.
Yeah, it's just it
What
literally.
makes my rosary powerful against Satan is because I pray the rosary daily.
Okay, so maybe I
So
should have worded that differently. If the people that are using said holy water do not have the belief,
right, it
it does
has
not have the same effect.
no. I mean, because they're blessed, it would have some effect, but the success of it depends on your belief. For instance, I always tell this. One of my favorite movies was Salem's Lot.
Love it.
Mhm.
And if you remember that, they were around the kitchen table with the priest,
Yep.
and that Mr. Barlow comes in, scared the freaking daylights out of me when he came crashing through the window. And so the priest takes the crucifix out. And so James Mason goes, back, holy man, back. He said, put the cross down. It's your faith against the master's. And so he had everybody leave, and he said, "Now put it down." And then he goes, "But I'm a priest." And then James Mason goes, and Mr. Barlow grabs the crucifix and bends it. And to
Such
me,
a
that
great
made,
movie.
yeah, it made such sense because if you don't have that faith to engender, to energize, to use that effectively to bless the object, then all it is a piece of jewelry. You
I
know,
agree.
it's the
And
faith. I mean, you don't even necessarily need it if you have that faith in you.
I agree, and I
It's
would take that same aspect to holy water. If you do not
yes,
have the belief that
no,
your spiritual higher guidance, whether
right,
you believe in God or whatever it may be, your spiritual higher guidance does not live within you. This does
right.
not work.
Yeah, just like, there are other cultures that have banishments and spiritual warfare.
I
The
personally
Muslims
use
have it.
Florida water.
Yeah, and but if I use that, it wouldn't do much because I'm not of that faith. Like I
Exactly.
don't believe in the same way. I would use what I use, and before I used to did the cleansings, I would ask people if they're okay with a Christian blessing. There's no atheists in foxholes. I've never ever had a family say no, don't use it, even if they were Jewish or something, because they're in desperate in need,
They're in
and
desperate need.
I can only operate out of my own tradition. You know.
Exactly. So that kind of leads me to another question. If you come into a family that is, say, on another faith level, as far as
Hmm.
being Hindu or whatever,
Yep.
and they still give you the permission to do that because they just want to be rid of whatever is ailing them, right?
Right.
So they're going to agree to whatever you want to do.
Right.
Is it as strong as someone who actually believes in said faith to get rid of whatever? I mean, like, I kind of don't understand how
Well, because
they could
in
intermediate.
my instance, as a warfare priest, it would have its effect because I believe what I'm doing. But what I would tell the people as maintenance is you got to practice your faith, whatever that is. You have to go back to it because once you've been touched by evil, you have to maintain. And the scriptures tell us if you don't keep your house tidy, it's going to come back, and it's going to come back more fast and furious, and
Agreed.
the result will be worse than the first
So,
instance.
so for me, what I got from that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Father Bob, please. You don't have to necessarily be of the faith of the help that you're requesting.
Correct.
You just have to believe in the faith of the help that you're
That
requesting.
we're doing. Correct.
Am I
Correct.
wrong in that?
No, you're right. Because for me, it would be because of I believe in Christ as the Savior, and as as the one who came to conquer evil and sin. So it would have its effect with myself, even if the other one didn't. The fact that they consent to it would have its effect. I
Agreed.
wouldn't go against it. Now, if say it was a Muslim and they wanted one of their imams to come, or if they were Jewish and they wanted, their Orthodox rabbi to come and do their exorcism ritual, then I would say, fine, go ahead, no problem. If it didn't work and they still wanted my help, then I would come in with what I know what to do. But it's been my experience, experience, that when they call you, they want you to do what they're calling you for desperate help. You
Yes.
know,
Agreed. I mean, why else would you call a priest? You're calling because you're at that
correct,
last resort.
correct, correct.
So, can I ask you, did working with the Warren Society for Paranormal Research and Education start your interest in the paranormal field? Did you have that to begin with?
I had it to begin with as a very young age, um, and I knew about spiritual warfare. I somehow felt a calling to the battle between good and evil from a young, and that's because of I think my cousin and his influence, and the fact that he fed me the solid food of the faith. Clearly back in the '70s when I saw the movie The Omen.
Oh, you're not that old. You're not in the 70s. Come on.
No, 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 no. I said back in the 70s.
Yeah, you're not that old though. You were living
Oh
in the
yeah, I
70s.
am. Oh yeah, I am. Um, yeah, and I was with all my friends, and I listened to it, and there was so many um, similarities in the movie between my real life, and I just said to my friends, I see myself in this movie. I don't know how, but I'm going to be involved in good versus evil. And that was in high school. I was in high
Oh,
school.
wow.
Later on, when I was a pastor, I led a group to Italy for a pilgrimage. And one of the places that we went was a town called Monte Gargano that has a shrine to Michael the Archangel. It's actually a cave. And St. Michael appeared in that cave and said that it was hallowed ground. And when I was in there, it was a very special for me because St. Michael's always, because of he's a warfare angel. And I remember kneeling in the side chapel, and as I had my eyes closed, I saw Michael the archangel, and he took out his sword and he knighted me. You know how you do the head and the two shoulders, and
Right.
it's okay. That was fine. And then he handed me his sword, and I took it in that vision. And that's when I knew after that that this is the path I'm going to choose.
I love that
So,
because, from my
That's good.
understanding, the typical process for, I think it's the minor rites of exorcism, is
mhm.
Saint Michael Archangel deliver us in battle,
Yes, yes.
and so I mean that makes complete sense for what you do.
Yeah, and it's actually interesting. Our new pope for us is Pope Leo the 14th. Now he was named after Pope Leo. He loved Leo the 13th, and Leo the 13th was the one in the 1800s who had the vision of Satan after he celebrated Mass, and he was having Satan was having a conversation with God and saying, "I can destroy the faith within 100 years," and God said, "You think you can? Fine, you take 100 years." Pope Leo was so distraught with the vision that he saw that he penned the famous, not just the prayer of Saint Michael, but the longer version that most people don't know, which is a deliverance and like an exorcism, which we can use without permission as priests over place. So that's what I would use when I went to a house that's infested, or a locale, or even praying over a person who's oppressed or obsessed.
Yeah,
Uh,
so a lot of people out there, and some paranormal investigators may know, but a lot of people don't know. There's multiple stages to
yes,
demonic, possession. You have oppression. You have
yes,
there's multiple different aspects,
yes.
and with every layer that it grows, it makes it harder to remove.
Correct. There were different. There were different. Uh, there were different types of influence that the enemy has. Now, the most basic type that all of us fall into
Infestation,
is temptation.
Mhm.
temptation,
W- w-
infestation, oppression, and possession.
right. So and then the next one would be infestation. Another one where it infests a house or a locale. Another one is obsession, where you become obsessed with with the demon, with what's going on. Then there's oppression, which is being attacked from the outside. There's vexation, where you're actually hurt, and I've seen that firsthand years ago when I had PWSM. One of the guys on my team was actually bitten, and it looked like a snake bite.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
Another one who was a tech guy, when I was doing a house, actually had scratch marks or red marks across his back, like burning sensation. When we lifted up his shirt, there were three
The
finger.
mocking of the Trinity.
Right, right. So that's vexation, and then there's the more rare of all of them,
Kenneth
which is,
Torres, thanks for joining.
Yeah,
oh,
he's in
hi
the
Ken.
chat.
He's a great guy.
Yes.
Um, and then there's demonic possession, which is dangerous. And for us as Catholic priests, we need the permission of the bishop because it is a very dangerous thing, not only for the life of the victim, but also for the priest. So
Right.
there's criterion set down in the centuries old ritual of who the bishop would choose and the preparation for that. And that's not something I ever want to do. And then the worst one is demonic subjugation, and that's when the person willingly, of their free will, gives himself over to Satan.
Well,
Once that happens, it's pretty much nothing you can do.
so
But
why
they've,
would anyone physically do that? Could it be depression? Could it be just life circumstances? Could it be just they were
I don't
offered
know,
some kind of deal?
except that they've become convinced that the devil is not a bad person but a good person.
Oh,
And
so they're playing the
what's
anti-hero card.
exactly, and then what's scary is if you go on Facebook and you see these people who are, into Satanism and not just the one that believes in hedonism, that's different, and the self and all that, but the theological Satanists is, all over their thing. They're saying, "Hail Satan, I give myself to you." And it's like, you don't know what you're saying.
You don't.
You're willingly giving yourself over. It gives me chills, you know.
Can you see the question, guys? I don't know if you can you see it.
Oh yeah, demonic subjugation, which is when someone
That's exactly what
willingly
he's referring to. Yes.
willingly
Mm-hmm.
gives themselves over to Satan. But what I was saying is, if you go on some of these, Facebook and other things of people who believe in Satan as a as a personified evil, and they're
Mm-hmm.
willingly praising him and saying how Satan is good. It's like, but even if you're saying it for giggles, they take it seriously, the other side.
Yes.
So God help them.
So, Father Torres, I know that you also. I don't know if you want
Oh,
me to
I
call
think
you
I lost
Father
people.
Bob. Sorry, Father Bob. But sorry, Kenneth Torres chimed in, so I was kind of like zoned in on that. But Father Bob, can I ask you, like, what got you into researching demonology? Was this something that was taught to you by the church, or was it just a general
Sorry about
interest?
it, guys. I just
No, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
All right. I don't know what happened. It just kind of went off.
you're fine.
I don't know. Whenever it gets really really hot over here, it just the Wi-Fi and the things over here
No
goes
worries.
go crazy.
It
So
does me the same way. It
No
yeah.
does.
worries. So I know that you're also a demonologist.
Well, okay. I will say this. I have a problem with people saying they're demonologists, in a sense that everybody says they're demonologists. I studied in the seminary, and I studied theology, and part of that theology was
You're the
angels and
master,
demons.
correct?
I was, yes. And so, in my work in spiritual warfare, there are some people who know the history. Like, I remember, like, Michelle Belanger, and she was amazing
She is
as a
amazing.
as a demonologist. Ed Warren was, and there was others. Adam Bly is one. But for myself, everybody and their brothers call themselves demonologists. I said, well, you know what? If they're going to say that, then I'm one too. But all we need to know as demonologists is the anatomy of a demon. A demon is a demon is a demon. There's high level and low level, but you
I
deal with all of them the same way.
I love the honesty.
Yes.
Well,
Well, it was brought up, through your bio. I saw a demonologist, so I felt like I kind of had to ask the question.
well,
So,
in that demonology is what I do. Deal with demons. Other people, they
they're not.
well, not only
Just
that,
say
but
they're
they
not.
define demonology in a different way. But there are people out there who have made a study of it, and who have many years of study in that and have helped. But for myself, helping clients, I don't need to know who's who in the demon world. I just need to know, how do you conquer? How do you counter a Satan? And it's the same thing. You use the
So,
power of faith and the power of Christ. So,
so before I continue on to my next question, I have an impromptu question. Yes, I
uh
have a
oh,
list here, so
uh oh.
I
Yeah.
try to stick to it. But has there ever been a point in time where someone claimed that they had a demon infesting their family, and you went in there and you did your thing and discovered that it wasn't a demon?
Oh yeah, yeah,
I feel like that happens more often than not.
yeah. It does. I was fortunate enough, in the years of being in paranormal state, that they took the most severe of the cases. Ryan did, and
No,
by the
I love
time
Brian Buell. I've never met him in person. I'd love to see him at some
he's
point.
my dear brother. I mean, he's really pulled himself up.
I would have
He
loved to have had him on this podcast, but
Oh well, you should ask him. He's a humble guy.
I
Um,
don't think he would ever. I don't think he would ever come on my podcast. I'm not well known.
I don't know, but he's not like that.
I will ask.
Um,
He can tell me no. I don't care.
yeah, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Exactly.
But oh, how did I get into that with Ryan? Oh yeah, on paranormal state.
Yes.
So by the time that they called me on, and the times that I was there, it was already established that there was something. you know. But I have gone into private homes and dealt with people that have had emotional, psychological issues, not demonic. Sadly, and probably you guys have come across that. Some are
I have.
fine; they're relieved. Others, you can't convince them. They want to believe it's demonic,
No,
and it's
when I
hard. It's hard to know what to do with that.
when I go into a location, I can pretty much say, "Hey, what you have here is not a demon." Absolutely, I'm relieved because I don't have to call in anyone that can do anything beyond my scope or my scope of responsibilities
Correct.
because I
But
don't know how
yeah,
to handle that.
right, but I'm talking about the clients themselves. Some of them are relieved that, okay, this is what I think is
Oh
this,
yeah.
this is why you're feeling like you're being watched. There's appliances near that need to be updated,
Mm-hmm.
or
Or
uh,
old wiring that needs to be
yeah,
properly grounded.
exactly. And but others who already have a predisposition psychologically, it's been really hard. It's really hard to convince them, and they get angry with you and all. So I'm sure you guys have been through that.
Oh, I
It's
have.
it's a frustrating.
In 18 years of doing this, let me tell you, I have come across some clients that I have told them straightforward.
Hmm.
Everything that I presented to you is legitimate facts. I have data. And they're like, "Oh, well, you're wrong."
Right. Yeah.
But am I wrong? Maybe
No,
I am.
I doubt it. I used to
But
Yeah.
work in the healthcare field,
I
and
have to take the data that I have at face value.
Yeah. You've been you were saying, Gwen, that you were in the
yeah,
healthcare.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you guys, but I've worked
You
in the
didn't.
healthcare field, and I was a paramedic for many years, and you would get people that would think when they were possessed, and honestly, it wasn't. It was just their illness, and you felt bad for them, but you knew it wasn't that. If it had been that, I would have called somebody in to take care of it, but it just wasn't.
Right.
Exactly. And you have to do that due diligence. It's like
Yeah.
Exactly.
I hate it when
Sometimes both could be present to a degree,
yes,
and that's challenging
Mm-hmm.
because it's a two pronged. It's a two-pronged operation. First of all, you will go in, try to bless the place, get it cleansed, and then you're going to say, now you're going to do part B. You got to go for professional counseling and help.
Yep.
If you don't do one of those things, you will not be completely whole.
I agree.
And that's the challenge, and you got to get them to that point. It's not always easy.
It's not easy at all. And let me tell you, I have dealt with that multiple times in my 18 years of doing this. And a lot of people, they are very resistant to it.
Yes.
So, can I ask you, do you believe that demons are as common as mainstream media makes us to believe? Because when you go down to it, you watch every other TV show right now, everything is a
Oh yeah, of
freaking
course.
demon.
Yeah. I believe that evil influence is very prevalent in the world today, but not the way, not always the way Hollywood does it. I mean, the devil is very subtle. His
Great.
biggest tactic is to get people to believe he doesn't exist. So he's not going to
Yes.
show up with a pitchfork and horns. He's not, because he obviously, people are going to spot it right away. So, sometimes people, you know, have other lesser forms of influence. It could be a spirit of anger, it could be a spirit of lust, it could be a spirit of, uh, you know, um, pride, and these are all attributes of evil that, again, you pray and also try and find some professional help too. So,
Yes,
but
and I agree with you on that. I refer to it as the greater evil because
hmm
I'm Wiccan, so I
yeah.
study a different religion,
Did you
but
say you're wicked?
I'm Wiccan.
Oh,
He is wicked too sometimes.
I'm just
So
joking.
you have your greater good and you have your greater evil, but they both
Right,
follow the very similar aspects of they're going to attack you when you least expect it or in your
yeah,
most vulnerable moments. So
exactly.
going on top of that, what is your opinion on Ouija boards? And is this recent development of the Holy Spirit board that I've seen?
Oh, dear Jesus, mercy. That
Oh,
is such blasphemy.
Um,
It's
so
such demonic
am I
blasphemy.
am I wrong to assume that you're using said Holy Spirit board to contact Jesus Christ as they claim it can do? Is that not the same thing as using an Ouija board to contact a spirit? And could it not open yourself up to the same
Exactly.
exact
Yes. You
entities?
don't you don't need a spirit board, Holy Spirit board, to contact the Lord. He's right there with you in prayer. You don't need to jump through hoops. It's a way of legitimizing it, but it's also a way of, see, the reason being is most people have no clue how to use it anyways. So
That's
what
true.
you so it's called, what they call is divination. Now, when you and I go into a house or a place, we're not conjuring. What we're doing is we're trying to figure out, is there something there, and what is it? Is it benign? Is it satanic?
Exactly.
Is there something there at all? That's not divination. Divination is forbidden by the scriptures. What happens with seances and all of this is that you open a door that you may not realize, and this is it. Demons are clever, far more clever than any psychic, any medium, and that's not
They
to
can
say anything bad about
they
legitimate
can
ones,
fool you.
but they're human beings only. And yes, they are liars. And so, how many times, look at the Annabelle doll? They thought it was the spirit of Annabelle Higgins. It wasn't. It was something more nefarious.
mhm.
Right.
So they can lie. And what happens
And
is
they do
sometimes, yes, they
very
do.
often, very
See,
often.
see,
Yes.
me personally, when I first saw this board, yes, I was intrigued in buying it because I found it hilarious. But then I realized, in all honesty, it's blasphemous.
Oh, the Holy Spirit thing? Oh yeah, that's just because God is not a puppet master. He doesn't play games. When you are baptized, you have the Holy Spirit with you. You don't got to go through all of that to have inspiration. You sit quiet, you sit in the Lord's presence. The Lord will speak to you. You don't need to use a board to discern that, Open the
Exactly.
scriptures, ask the Spirit to lead you, and to teach you. It's scary because it's misleading to a lot of people, and we've had to go in. I'm sure you did too, to clean up messes when
Oh
investigators
God,
start dabbling with that.
I,
And
I
it's very
have
hard to close the door once it's open.
I have been into so many locations, and you can tell from my tattoos and stuff, I'm not of a Catholic faith. Okay,
Well, tattoos aren't a sin.
really, because I've
Shh.
always been told they are.
It depends how you say it. You know, like they say, well, there's a biblical thing about mutilating your
Mutilation.
body. Well, if that's true, then women should never wear ear piercings.
True.
It's
True.
the same thing. So, you know, it's not that's not what it is, you know. I
But
mean, if you have something evil on there, well, that's one thing,
I
you
can
know.
tell you that I have been to so many locations where people are like, well, I called someone in to help, and they just made it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't know
Yeah.
what they were doing. You called in an inexperienced team. But you know
Yes.
what? To be honest, that's not at their fault. They were just trying to find help.
Correct. What I used to do with PWSM when I had that group years ago, and what I'm trying to do again, as part of with Father Ken and I, and as part of our education of the Holy Sword Apostolate, is to uh, is to give investigators workshops on how to safely go in, because when you go into a place you don't know what you're dealing with,
You
so you
don't.
got to be prepared, and a lot of people today don't go in without protecting themselves,
They
and
go
that's a
in willy
recipe for
nilly.
disaster.
They go in willy nilly with a few voice recorders and some REM pods that they bought off
Yeah,
fucking eBay. Excuse my language, Father Bob.
no,
But
I
they
know.
but they bought off eBay expecting that they know what the hell they're doing, and they don't.
Right, right. And this is the thing that I used to tell groups, and I say this now. If you're going in and you're investigating, and then all of a sudden you get signs that this thing is malevolent, have the humility to say, whoa, this is above my pay grade.
I'm
Let's
backing off.
stop
Yes.
now and let's contact. There's no shame in that.
Yes.
Contact someone who knows what they're doing. Like,
Yes.
I always relied on investigators to lay the groundwork, and I trusted them, you know, the ones that I worked with. So they need to trust those who are versed in spiritual warfare,
Well,
you
let
know.
me tell you, I may not be well versed in spiritual warfare, but I am well versed in the equipment that we use. So if you ever need
Right.
anyone to come in and speak, I
Yep.
got
Yep. Can you get me a, oh, what the heck is it? A novelist at a very cheap price for for a poor priest.
you. Trust
I
me, an
will
novelist.
buy and send you an ovula if that's what you want.
Well, you send me
uh
one first. I want one,
Okay.
but no, I'm joking. You send it to
No,
Father
but
Bob first.
honestly, there's a lot of controversy about it, but I have had I have had some success with that, with the obelisk, and they said,
Like you
"Well, it's
said, he'll get
programmed
you
with all
one.
these words. So what? So what if it's programmed with the word with
So,
words? That's
Yeah.
what they use to manipulate it to get a message out. Just like
Yep.
when we open Scripture. You know, it's the Lord speak to us. We're open scriptures. There's words on there. There's a certain amount of words, and the Lord uses the words that are there to speak to us and to teach us. So,
right, exactly. So I see we're nearing about that hour mark, and you can ask Gwen. I'm a time
Time
Nazi.
Nazi. Time Nazi.
Um, I have a question for you that may or may not
yikes!
be triggering. It's not my final question for the record. My final question is a three-part question,
Oh boy!
but I really don't even know if I should ask it because I know you're very well involved with the Warrens and whatnot.
Yep,
What you do with N.E.S.P.E.R.
yep.
Um, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Do you agree with me that people trying to say that Annabelle hurt Dannerville and people trying to profit off of his death is absolutely freaking sickening?
It was beyond sickening. Dan was a good friend of mine. Dan looked out for me. Dan, I can't say enough, and my heart goes out to Sarah and, you know, and their son. But I could tell you stories how beautiful he was. and the people who say things, they don't know him. But
I never got to meet him in person. That's why I'm asking.
I didn't either.
yeah, well, I who would have known? That was the one place I didn't go with them on the Annabelle tour because I was in Portugal. But and part of me is glad I didn't, because I would be insufferable if I walked
So,
in on that.
if I'm not
But
mistaken,
asking me if they think that the Annabelle, I don't want to go into it. I have a personal opinion on it,
fair
but
enough.
I have not been with my buddies at N.E.S.P.E.R to be able, as the priest, as their priest, to talk to them about that. But as far as the other stuff about the prison breaks and the fires and no, I don't
It's all
believe that.
BS. I know it's
But
BS.
I will say there were some things they tried to do good in that they were trying to educate people on the reality of good versus evil. What I saw some people doing there scared me. I mean,
Interesting.
yeah, because I think they're giving it an energy they shouldn't. And I saw one lady bring her daughter up in front of Annabelle, and she presented the bouquet of flowers. And it was killing me because I was so shocked. I should have said, "You
Why?
do realize?" I don't know. I was just like,
That's an offering.
yeah, when you're just so shocked, you're speechless, and it's like, darn it. I should have said, "You do understand that there's a demonic spirit that's attached or that's somehow influenced." What kind of parent?
That makes no sense to me because you're making an offering to a demonic entity.
Exactly. But that's where lack of education and it's where we're at today. They just people today just they you know some people just take horror movies. Like, I loved horror movies, but I clearly understood good versus evil. I clearly understood facts from fiction, but I would never do it in an offering. Like, I wouldn't sit there and kiss Marie Laveau's
No,
grave.
absolutely not.
And she probably
Absolutely
would
not.
zing me anyways. But you know what I mean? It's like you got to learn the parameters around it. And
Well, like I,
again, it's not Nesper's fault, but it's what some people have created with that, and
right.
that can be bad. You know.
It could.
But yeah, no, the prof, yeah, the shit. All these people who all of a sudden, like good friends. Yeah, where were they before?
You
Where were
know,
they before?
yeah, I
Mhm.
shared the post about his death because I knew who he was,
Right, right.
but I
Out of
never met him
respect.
in person.
Yeah, he
So
Absolutely.
did it out of respect. So
I did it
And
out of respect.
everybody should do that to anybody, in the paranormal who's been out those many years. If something happened to them, if they say they got cancer, or something, say a prayer for them. It's just respect. There's too much drama in this. Too
There is,
much drama,
and it's sickening.
and it's dog eat dog, and it turns me off.
It's sickening because Ed and Lorraine would have never wanted it that way.
No, no, no.
They would have wanted it as all of us working together as one cohesive unit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I had the blessing of being, through Paranormal State, getting to know, working and learning from her.
I'm jealous.
Paranormal State. Well, right place at right time. Thank you, Ryan.
there you go.
I'm so
But
jealous.
but yeah, I just.
We didn't even get to half my questions, Father Bob. So I'm gonna have to have you on for another show.
Oh well, if you have to.
No, I have to because
Gwen knows I'll go on.
we didn't even get to half of my
We
questions.
don't have to, but anytime you want, you just call me. Call me.
But I
Okay.
typically have a podcast question that I ask at the end of every single podcast, and for the record, I put my necklace on for you, so you're gonna have to answer them. But so you have one haunted location on your bucket list that you have never been to, that you've been always intrigued about. What is that location?
Oh my gosh, I have a few of them. Um, Well, I've been to St. Albans twice, and I love St. Albans Sanatorium. Um,
It could be in the United States or abroad. It could be
yeah, well,
Vlad
I would love to
Castle.
go to Dracula's castle because I love vampire. But
Yep.
however, you know what? It's not a specific place, but I would love to go to Savannah.
Georgia.
That's that is my bucket list because it's very haunted and it's very. I hear it's
Savannah, Georgia.
beautiful. Yeah,
Yes, it is. It is the most haunted place in the United
yeah,
States besides New Orleans and Mississippi. There's a place in Mississippi.
yeah.
Father Bob, when the next time we know we're going to Savannah, I'm sending you a message, and
Okay.
maybe because we no, I'm serious. I'm serious. We go down there.
A
We have.
message, if you will.
I know. I'm serious because if he
No,
would love to go somewhere like that, that'd be awesome.
yeah. It's just I studied with guys from Savannah in the
Hmm.
seminary, and if you want to, they say if you want to get a taste of the old South, Savannah is the place.
Hmm.
So, can I tell
Yeah.
you that the guy who invites me to all these paracons, Thomas Patrick Gormley and Charles Rosenet,
Hmm.
Yep,
they do a Transylvania tour,
that's
I
right.
know.
and they do financing.
Yep.
Yeah, but unfortunately, with the
I don't have a
neuropathy.
passport.
No, no, I just got back from Portugal. No, it's just with my neuropathy, there's a lot of climbing.
Okay, that's fair
A
enough.
lot.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, I wish I had done that when I was younger, but sadly, that part of my life, we have vampire legends in Rhode Island, so I sadly, Mercy Brown and all of them. So that's
Oh yeah,
probably
Mercy
going to be,
Brown. Yep. And if you
yeah.
go over to Romania, you have the Strigoi. And it's
Oh,
like,
Strigoi. Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely. I wish, but I think right now, realistically, I mean, when I was in Portugal, just the cobblestones were something to
Yeah.
be careful
you
about.
see, for me, you describing Portugal is me describing myself walking down the cobblestone streets down in St. Augustine, Florida.
Oh, maybe I've never been to St. Augustine.
Beautiful
I would
city,
love to.
amazing haunted history. I've investigated probably 40 buildings within that vicinity.
I remember the lighthouse. I'll never forget when I was watching Ghost Hunters, and they showed
The
that thing where
shadow.
you could see the shadow looking over. I said, "Holy!" I sent shivers, not in scare way, but just like, "Wow,
Let me tell you,
wow."
it is well worth the visit if you can climb the 277 steps to the top.
No, I was very lucky. I climbed St. Peter's Dome when I was like 20 years ago. I could never do that now.
See,
I could go up, but I wouldn't have coming down. I'd
I
be
am
petrified.
I am
Mm.
deathly afraid of heights. Heights are not my thing. I get to the top of the lighthouse, right? And they're like, well, we have the certificate that says that if you climbed all the steps, you have to walk the 360 view to get your certificate to say that you climbed all the steps. And I'm like, I'm deathly afraid of heights. I can't do that.
Do they have
And the
an
guy was like,
elevator?
huh?
Do they have an elevator there?
No. But the guy was like, well, if you want your certificate, you have to walk the. I took one step out and I collapsed to my knees. And
Hmm.
I'm like, look, I cannot do this. I am deathly afraid of heights. And the guy said, well, I'll tell you what. You climbed all those steps. If you can doggy crawl around the 360 view, I'll give you your certificate.
Wow.
I already climbed all the steps. You're damn right I'm going to do it.
Hmm.
But I had my eyes closed the whole time, my hand pressed against the
Oh,
wall.
I would.
No,
I mean, I could be, I
it was
could be something if it was supported all around, and there was a railing, and it was like enclosed. Yeah, I'm not afraid of that. Even the Grand Canyon, it was odd because I had a fear of heights, but the Grand Canyon is such majesty, and it's
it
so
is.
bigger than us that I
Yeah.
forgot for the time being where it was, and I wasn't afraid, you know. But then I saw a jetty and someone like a young person just sitting there. It's like, oh no, 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 no! I wouldn't do that. No, or go up on that glass thing because I probably would just drop in the middle of that glass thing and not be able to move.
I think I
Agreed.
must be lucky because I don't have problems with any flying or anything like that. I just,
Oh,
That's,
or
flying, I
either I'm just
don't.
crazy. Yeah,
that's because you're weird, Gwen.
it's me, man. It's okay. It's
You're
me.
weird. It's okay.
I know
So
I'm
Father,
weird. You're
so
weird.
Father Bob, let's lock in. So you
Yes.
got your location. What location did you choose?
Savannah.
Savannah. We got Savannah, Georgia. If you
Yeah,
could
I
bring
don't know where
one,
there because I don't know where the places are, but that would be a place I would love to just to go and see and investigate. Yeah.
so we're gonna go with Savannah Downtown Square because that is the most reportedly haunted places in Savannah. That there was, I think, allegedly 72 lynchings that happened in
Wow.
town square. So we're gonna go
That's
with
a lot.
Downtown Square.
Okay.
And if you had one person you could bring with you, alive or dead, doesn't matter who it is, who are you bringing with you to investigate Savannah Downtown Square?
I would bring Lorraine because yeah, I would bring Lorraine.
Lorraine. Okay,
Yep.
so we got Savannah Downtown Square. We got Lorraine Warren.
With Mary Poppins. Yep.
I mean, you can't have two people.
No, Mary Poppins. That's what I called Lorraine. That was my nickname for her.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
Gwen, I probably said it on the show before, but
You
because she has a
did. So
bun,
that's why I was
yeah,
like,
the
yeah,
bun in the back of her hair, she
yeah.
giggles so much.
All right, so
You
we're
know,
gonna go with Savannah Downtown Square. We got Mary Poppins, aka Lorraine Warren.
that's it.
What
Mhm.
piece of equipment are you bringing with you, and why?
I have a fascination with the obelisk. I probably will get a lot of people criticizing me saying it doesn't work, but I don't watch paranormal shows much at all when you're doing the work. But there's one that I really love, and I'm ashamed, and I'm not ashamed to say I love Project Fear.
They're
This is
Oh,
amazing.
this is the reason it does because paranormal movies or shows don't scare me in the least. What I find exhilarating is when they have to stay alone. So you
I
don't
can tell
know
you,
if it's a spirit or if it's an intruder. That whole thing of being alone in the dark, yeah, that does it's entertaining for me. It's something that catches my attention.
I can tell
But
you
they,
that I love that show, and I
yeah.
hate how Zach Bagans fucking drugged that. Excuse my language, drugged that
Oh,
show into the ground.
but you know what? They're bigger and better on YouTube.
They are.
And my bucket and my pet thing is I want to meet them because I really I enjoy the show so much and a fan of the show. So hey, it
Well,
worked with
I
Ryan
want.
Buell. Maybe it'll work with the people from. I do know somebody who was in the pilot show with them, and he used to work on Paranormal State. He was one of the cameramen. So I'm
Let's
hoping.
triangulate this, man. You want to work
yeah.
with them? I want to
Well, I
work with
want to meet
them. I
them.
want to
I just
work
want to
with
meet
you.
them.
They probably
You
don't
just want
want to
to meet.
work with me, but we can figure this out.
Yep.
No,
We
but
can help.
they have that thing. It's an obelisk, but it's called something else. It's a big meter, and then it says it out
Father
loud.
Ken said he's got, hold on, go back. I'm sorry. He said he's got one. Wait a minute. And
Gwen,
I
can
keep
you
flipping
read?
by. Yeah, but you got to understand, my screen's about this big, and
I
y'all
I
hear
don't.
you.
do what
I am
I have
not in the
to.
mood for understanding. Just read. I'm
Boy,
joking.
I tell you, he's something. Anyway, Father Ken has something for you. I think he said it was obvious. So,
Father Kian?
Ken, I'm
Oh, Father
Southern. I'm
Ken.
sorry.
I'm going to
Yeah,
see
Father
him next
Ken.
month. I'm going to see him next month.
There, he's got something for you. He's
I
got one
wish you
for
could
you.
have joined in on the show.
Oh, I know. I know. I didn't get to talk to him today. I had my neuropathy therapy, and I had this, that, and the other, and I was going from one thing to another, and then I went out after for
Morgan
some.
says that he said he had one, and y'all will put it to the test. You will put it to the test. Yeah. There
Ah,
you go. Yes.
I put everything to the test. I don't know if she was talking about me or not.
I got to tell you
No.
one thing: the REM pod.
It's crap.
I no, no. I will say this: as long as you do the testing with it, do the field thing. I was at a house from the 1700s, and I go back time there because there are spirits there. But this one particular time, it was a demonic, a malevolent spirit, and it was in this one room where the REM pod was there. So I set up my little altar, and on the altar, I was given, I was graced, gifted a splinter of the true cross of Christ from an old church, and a friend of mine who was the pastor, let me have it, and so it was just there, and I was a distance away, and at that point, I held up the true cross, the splinter. The REM pod went absolutely ballistic and shut itself off.
Interesting.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Hmm.
And it's like, well, so yeah. I mean, you gotta, you gotta take all these field things. You can't just put it out because movement. So you gotta like walk in front of it and
Yeah,
back.
no,
You,
absolutely.
yeah,
And for me to believe that it happened, I would have to have been there in person, if that makes
yeah.
sense.
Well, yeah, and that's I may probably wouldn't have believed if I didn't see it myself.
No, I
So
mean I believe you though, because
Yeah, I believe you.
you don't strike me as a person that doesn't tell the truth.
oh, can I
So
tell you about the full bodied apparition I saw?
yeah, by all means.
Please.
I never saw one. I'm just saying, don't believe everything you hear. I
You hurt
wish to
my
God.
feelings here. You had
You
me
know what? They
excited,
don't.
and
This
now
is
you're
the thing.
like you're killing my self
Uh,
esteem.
this is the thing about being a priest. When you're running into these things, not so much a ghost, but a malevolent spirit. They will not. They go dormant when the priest comes because they don't want to
They don't want to
give
confront.
themselves away. No. So it's like I've gone into places where they said, oh, things went flying out of the cupboards. I remember years and years ago when I was at, oh, what's the place in upstate New York?
That was a good joke. I'm not gonna lie, that was good.
Hmm. He got us.
Um, the Hinsdale House, before the present owner, but when it was just, they were saying, oh, things came flying out, which I believe that. I don't believe they were lying, but I go walking in there going, yes, nothing, nothing. I did a deliverance of the house, and you know, but nothing.
I,
Except you could feel there was something in the air. That I'm not psychic. I'm not sensitive, but there are times lately, if something's really bad, yeah, I can sense it a
yeah,
little bit.
but I kind of feel like as a priest, as compared to being a paranormal investigator, right? We both look at things as the same aspect. You have
Hmm.
to take what you experience at face value.
Correct.
And if
Correct.
you can prove said experiences, then you have something legitimate. If you cannot
Right.
prove the experiences, then you just kind of have word of mouth.
Right.
Would I be wrong in assuming that?
No, you're right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But Father Bob, we're gonna go ahead and jump off of here. We're 16 minutes over. I'm a
Oh
time
boy.
Nazi. But
He
let me tell
really
you,
is.
I appreciate you coming on and spending
You're
this
very
time with
welcome.
us. I have multiple questions, so you're gonna come back on the show if you wouldn't mind.
We gotta hang out then.
Oh, we absolutely will.
Yep.
You're in New
But
Hampshire.
I am, and I would love to invite you over to my house for some barbecue if you want.
Oh boy. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
But I would love to have you back on the show at a future date.
Awesome.
If you wouldn't mind just hanging out in the background for like
Yep.
5 minutes, I got a follow up question for you. But
Uh-oh.
everybody, this
Gwen,
is
should I be
Father.
afraid?
No,
No,
Okay.
no.
no, and I wouldn't lie to you. No.
Okay.
But everyone, this was the Paranormal Unveiled podcast with Father Bob, and let me tell you, I love this conversation. It's probably one of my favorite conversations I've had so far.
Oh, thank you. I love doing podcasts.
Well, we're gonna have you on again soon. But Father
Okay.
Bob,
Yes.
I'll see you in a few minutes.
All
Yep.
right.
I'll put you
God
down.
bless.
Thank you.
Nice to talk.
All right. He's awesome.
No, I think that went very well.
Yes.
Me not being of the Catholic faith, I wasn't exactly sure where I wanted to go with the conversation, but I hit on none of my questions, like maybe two of them, and I felt like it went great.
It did.
But everyone out there who has stayed over 17 minutes, I think it's like 18 minutes almost now. I greatly appreciate you guys and
Yes.
joining us and welcoming Father Bob to the Paranormal Unveiled podcast family. And we'll see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. 9:30 p.m. EST on the All Access Network.
Thank you, guys.